in our comment section, the amount of people that comment like, oh, she ruined her white bloodline. That's what kind of psychotic do you have to be to comment that?
We've been in a situationship before.
Yeah.
And how did we handle this situation?
Yeah, we talk all the time about me being Christian, about you being Hindu, but there's so many different kinds of interfaith couples all around the world that struggle with this exact thing.
But he still hasn't told his parents and lies about where he is all the time. Does that sound familiar?
Feel that. That's the one thing that I've learned from being an honorary Patel is that everybody's opinions are everything.
You got to make a decision here. And hopefully he makes the right one. That kind of put me in my place a little bit, right? Because I don't want to lose Hallie. When it comes to dealing with conflict and disagreements, is give some space. Racism. We don't like that.
No, we don't.
Nobody
likes
like
that.
Racism.
No.
And that's why we're going to end with it, because we're ending it.
This week, we are answering your questions from navigating intercultural dating and family approval, to handling breakups, and figuring out how long you should wait for a partner to tell their parents about you. We're also talking about dealing with social burnout and the rise of anti-Indian racism. These are some of the most real and honest questions that we have gotten from you guys. Let's get into a Half Past Crew.
This episode is sponsored by Autonomy, but more on that later. Welcome to
Half Past Cha.
Guys, welcome back to another episode of Half Past Chat. We're your hosts. My name is K2.
My name is Hallie.
And if you can't already tell, we're a married interracial couple, and that's what we talk about on this podcast. We talk about being an interracial couple. We talk about relationships in general, and then we get questions from you because you guys go to www.halfpastshy.com where you submit your own questions and stories. We release new podcast episodes every single Monday at 7 a.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and if you're on Spotify or Apple Podcast, you need to give us 5 stars, follow the pod so then you're notified there. But then also go to YouTube because we are posting vlogs like almost every single week now. We're posting another one on Wednesday this week. We're very excited to share, guys. It's been a great journey. I'm so glad that you guys are liking the vlogs because that is something we love making. Now, settle in, get cozy, and grab your cha. Guys, we actually do have cha this time. Well, it's a dirty cha.
What makes it dirty? Nothing, actually.
It's actually coffee and then chai syrup from Malwa Chai. I'm so excited. It's so good.
It's so good,
It
guys.
makes my mouth water.
We obviously, guys, we love chai here, right? Chai. We love it all. But I added a little espresso. I made this at home, by the way. I just want to point that out to everybody.
Oh, it's so good.
This is homemade dirty chai. And it's really good and it's really cozy and it's just kind of the thing you need at this time of year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
November, cozy drinks, warm. My feet are actually really cold as we're talking about this.
We need to warm up ourselves.
Warm up ourselves, everybody.
Yes. Okay, we're going to go into your questions. Thank you all for submitting on www.halfpastshy.com. We really appreciate it. We got so many. We actually couldn't make it through all of them. This is like half of whatever was submitted within the last 2 weeks, but we're going to get to them. We're going to get to them all at some point.
Yes, thank you guys so much for submitting good questions. You guys already know you submit the best questions on planet Earth, so truly thank you. I know it's not always easy being vulnerable and putting things out there, so thank you. We're going to answer to the best of our ability.
The first section of questions we're going to answer mainly deal with intercultural dating, family approval stuff, and then we're going to move into some general relationships type stuff when it comes to like breaking up and all that. And then we're going to end with some racism. We don't like that.
No, we don't.
Nobody
likes
like
that.
racism.
No.
And that's why we're going to end with it because we're ending it. Am I right?
We're done.
Okay. First question. Hi, Hallie and K2. First, Hallie, congratulations on completing the New York City Marathon. It's so evident that it means a lot to you.
It does. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My question is related to what you shared about the impact of stress on your relationship. How do you feel your relationship has changed now that you quit your jobs and mostly work together? Do you feel like you have to take active measures to maintain independent lives? To be honest, I'm always worried about the conflict/disagreements that arise from working with family, including my partner. And would love your thoughts on this and how you work through it.
Wow.
It's our daily life, you know? Okay.
This is what we're living in right now, everybody. Yes, we do have to take active measures to maintain independent lives because, as you guys very well know, we work together in every capacity in our lives, right? Like we do the media production, we do social media stuff, we do this podcast. Yes, we have our individual brands, but even then, those are kind of entangled in. We get involved with each other's content and just trying to be a normal couple as well. Working out, we work out together and we do things like that. We're always together, right? Because we live together. This is our house. So we have to be very careful in how we approach our day to day.
I'm going to start from the beginning of this question, talking about quitting our jobs. When we quit our jobs, I think when we had our jobs, I honestly didn't have much stress at all. And now that we quit, I have a lot more stress. I think Hallie has a little bit less stress than she did at her job. Would you agree?
Yeah, I'm a lot happier.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a big factor because I wasn't very happy before.
For me, it's like I'm very stressed because you got to make it work. You got to make it happen, and that's why it's been really good to have Hallie there because she isn't stressed. She's like the person who keeps me level-headed and helps me work through certain problems. But when it comes to us trying to maintain independent lives, we take measures like when we go to the gym, we take separate cars. Like we don't drive together because she needs to leave at a certain time and I usually will stay a little longer or whatever it may be. Or if I need to leave and she can stay a little longer, that is something that helps us stay a little bit more independent. We have our separate brands, which help us like work on our own business in a way. Like eventually I want to start selling my own digital products, and Hallie wants to start doing her own fitness based products at some point. And so that kind of helps us build our own thing. Like we don't have to be involved in each other's. We can be, but we're trying to separate the two just to give ourselves more freedom to do what we want.
Yeah. For your finance videos and the content that you make, I don't help you. If you need me to be in it, I'm in it, but he creates that solely himself. And then the same goes for my fitness content and the other stuff that I make. Usually it could involve him, right? Sometimes it does, but for the most part it doesn't. And those are all ideas that I create by myself as well, because we have our own individual relationships, you with money and finance, me with the fitness and running space. And so we don't really chime in. Like I don't want to help you with your finance because I don't feel like I should and I don't really know a ton about it. And then same with my running journey. Like it's very individualistic. Yeah, we try and keep that pretty separate when we can, but then the relationship stuff obviously comes into play.
Yeah, I think what we would say in terms of our advice when it comes to dealing with conflict and disagreements is give some space. We usually will work in different locations at least once a week. I'll go to the library, Hallie might go to a coffee shop, or vice versa. And that helps us work on the things we want to work on and without distractions. I think the biggest thing, the reason that conflict happens is when we're together, we'll be working on something, I'll be working on something, Hallie will be working on something, and then we get into this thing. It's like, hey, can you look at this? Hey, can you look at that? And then we both lose our groove, our momentum that we are building ourselves, right? When that happens, it just throws everything off. We both become frustrated. Conflict happens, disagreements happen, and we're both not happy.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Yeah.
And so that's how we combat that specific problem. But thank you for asking the question. We really appreciate it. Question number 2.
This question is from Emily. Emily was deeply in love with a Gujarati guy, but his parents didn't accept their relationship due to cultural differences. She wants to know how to cope with a breakup that wasn't about lack of love and how we made it through something similar.
Parents are the one thing that are gonna. It's hard for me to give advice on this because I was in the same position of like, okay, the parents say no. Now what do we do? The solution is you do what you want to do and hope for the best. And if it doesn't happen, then they're the ones at the loss. Like they have the loss. You have a loss in terms of the relationship with your parents might not be great for the next few months, maybe a year, but the loss is them. They're the reason that they're causing all this conflict and disagreement and the problems is because of them, right? So I don't think like you should blame yourself in this situation. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. I think at the end of the day, you kind of have to remove yourself from it a little bit and look at the actual situation and the problem and the source of that. Because really what you're trying to do is be in a relationship with somebody. You love each other. You don't really have any problems. You have a lot of similarities, and that's why you're together. And then there are people outside of your relationship that don't really know it at all that are trying to tell you otherwise and put information in your head and tell you that you can't do something when you totally have free will and autonomy over your own decisions. So, yes, it sounds, I mean, you said it, it sounds easy to just, do whatever you want to do. But the fallout that you could have of those relationships with the people around you, it seems so daunting because if it's your family or people that you love so much, it seems like the end of the world if they don't support you. I mean, and this comes in many forms, right? If you have family or close friends that don't support something huge in your life, it feels like the end of the world. Even though you want to try so hard not to care about what other people think, somehow it still ends up hurting your feelings because their opinion ultimately does matter, at least a little bit. So yes, do what you want, but at the same time, I think just fully expect, knowing and going into it that there will be challenges. But if you love this person enough and you want to make it work, you will. But as being the person on the other side of it, trying to deal with that idea of, okay, well, we loved each other, but we can't be together. I hate to say this, but I don't really have any good advice for getting over it because we ended up getting back together, but after a very long time. And what it took from my side was talking to him about it and really trying to level with him and understand the situation of what was actually happening in our world and then in your world at home with the family. It's just very hard, and it takes a lot of time and patience and love and respect on both sides because ultimately you're not the person telling the parents if you're in the situation that I was in, but you have to be supportive for your partner in always being for them, even though you could be so frustrated with the situation and with them and uplifting them.
That's exactly it. I mean, it's hard. It's a hard situation to be in. What I would say in terms of dealing with the breakup is probably just being honest with your feelings, like saying them out loud, writing them down so then you understand how you're truly feeling to help you kind of move on from it.
So how can you move on from that? I think that's the ultimate question, right? I tried to surround myself with the people that made me happy. And I hate to say it, but I really tried to cut off my communication with you, but you wouldn't let me. So yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I think just really living for you. I mean, this goes for any breakup, right? Live for you, make decisions that make you happy. And as hard as it is, try and remove yourself from the trauma that you're probably going to have from that relationship, because it's ultimately when you broke up, it wasn't really because of anything that you did. It wasn't because of anything that you did. It's a part of who you are and you can't change that. So I think when you start to come to terms with that it has nothing to do with you personally. It sounds like they didn't even know you. Just trying to move on from that and realize that you are enough. You are still a human being, and that they are putting that onto you. They're projecting that onto you because they don't understand themselves that you can be with somebody different, cultural, religious background than you.
Thank you for asking the question, Emily. We're going to move on to question number 3 from Sarah. Sarah asked, she's been dating her Indian boyfriend for a year, but he still hasn't told his parents and lies about where he is all the time. Does that sound familiar?
Feel that. That was the year 2015 and 2016 and 2017 and 2018.
Yikes. So, I mean, I guess that kind of answers the question.
Yeah.
How long is too long for you to wait for him to open up and actually tell his parents? What should you do? That's the question that she asked.
I think the biggest question that you have to ask yourself is, are you looking to take the next step in your relationship? How crucial is it that they know quickly? Because if you've been dating for a year, I don't know how old you are, what stage of life you're in, or if you're wanting to get married or move in or whatever. I think it's important to ask where you're at. And then when you've had these conversations with your boyfriend about what your guys' future looks like and asking him maybe why you haven't introduced me, I would like to know. I would like to meet them. I'd like to show them who I am and who we are together. I think it's important to give him a little bit of patience, especially, or give him a little bit of time and you be patient, especially because it's not a super easy and approachable situation. But if you're wanting to take that next step, then I think that's a conversation that you two need to have and then figure out what to do from there.
I have two things about this guy, right? He is prioritizing his parents' comfort as number one. That's what they do. That's what I do, right? That's what I did. I wanted to make sure that my parents were okay before anyone else. Number two, he's avoiding necessary conflict. He's afraid of it. I was afraid of it, so I never brought it.
Understandably so. Yeah.
So that is what's happening in his brain right now. And I guess to understand it, you have to have the clear conversation, like Hallie said, and make sure that there are the boundaries, the non-negotiables. Set them right. Hallie did that to me. Hallie was like, you better tell him this year, no matter what. I don't care. You got to make it happen.
Did I do that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Was that a Halloween party, remember? Yeah, she did it. She's like, you better tell him. Just like,
look at me.
You got to do it. And that kind of put me in my place a little bit, right? Because I don't want to lose Hallie. And that's what forced me to kind of pitch the idea to him over and over and over again until they got it into their head that this is going to happen. So that is my advice to you. To just
be resilient and persistent and don't give up and be like, tell him. And then you have to be the person to tell your parents and do it over and over and over again.
Yeah. Be open with him in terms of like, hey, like I know you are afraid. I know you're doing this to appease your parents, but you gotta make a decision here. And hopefully he makes the right one.
Mm-hmm. Couldn't have said better myself.
All right, question number 4.
This question is from Alyssa. She is white, 7 years older, and has a child, and worries that his Indian parents won't accept their relationship. She wants advice on navigating cultural expectations and how his parents can move past fear of societal gossip. Oh my goodness, the judgment. That's the one thing that I've learned from being an honorary Patel is that everybody's opinions are everything. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, unfortunately. It's one of those toxic parts of it's one of the toxic parts of the older generation of the culture, right? I think it just is. It's like you have this standard, but that is why a lot of people are doing what they do, right? Like there's so many Indian doctors, there's so many Indian engineers. It's because of the fear that has been instilled by the older generation. And that sucks. So then that gossip is the what's it called? It's the outcome of what is kind of happening behind the scenes. That's just what everybody's doing to make sure everybody stays in line. Like when you're young, you're like, okay, I got to be this because I don't want the aunties talking about it, right? I got to do this because I don't want anyone thinking that my parents aren't raising good children. These are the kinds of things that kids think about.
That's got to be tough.
And it's not easy, I don't think. I think it's definitely less. Like I get a lot of comments saying, hey, like you're misrepresenting Indians because like Indian parents don't act like this. If Indians' parents still didn't act like this, we wouldn't get questions like this every single day. So I think that is still a problem in terms of the environment that is out there for a lot of Indian kids. Like it's a little too toxic still. I think it's getting improvement. There's improvement. I can see from Indian friends that I have, and I see their parents. I'm like, oh my God. They want you to do that? That's crazy. The amount of Indian artists that are out there now in the world. And I'm just like, oh, this is amazing. It's awesome. And I think it's just one of those things where you gotta try and change the narrative. I don't know.
You mentioned that a lot of kids have to think about those kinds of questions about what will other people think or what will people think of my parents. Is that something that you had to think about when you were a child?
You know what's crazy? I thought about it a lot because I was like, okay, if I have a white girlfriend, what are all the people at Garva gonna say about me? I actually thought that was like a thing in my brain.
That's crazy. And what do they say now?
Yeah, they love you. Now Hallie's the number one person at Garva.
No, let's
she's
not.
She's the pro.
No.
But
people are pretty impressed by my dance moves, okay? I have this thing called rhythm.
She does.
And I just go out and have fun. And I think people can see that I have a lot of joy and I have so much fun when I am doing Garba with other people around me and celebrating. Like, it's fun.
I was so excited to take you to Garba for the first time. I was so excited. But my heart was beating so fast because I was afraid of the judgment. I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
And that's just something that's instilled in us from a young age of like, okay, like you need to be on the right path. Like this is the right path. And as long as you stay on this path, people won't look at you. People won't stare at you. But the second you deviate, people will look at you. People will judge you. People will say things about you. And that's what I was afraid of.
That's got to be such a heavy weight to carry for anybody who is afraid of other people judging them, especially to be judged by maybe other family members or family friends or just friends. And that, I don't know. I mean, to each their own, but I don't think that's right. And I think that's a lot that especially you in high school and college even had to worry about that. And other people have had to worry about that. And I mean, I've dealt with a lot of judgment from a lot of people in my own life and family, but I don't know to that extent that you described. I just think that goes really deep and that can really affect how people make decisions and it hurts people's feelings and it causes drama. And it's just, I mean, that is a lot. It just is like Mean Girls, the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's like my advice, like when you ask for advice on how to move past it is they don't know. Your life will be the same by them gossiping about you or not gossiping about you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like either way, your life is your life and their life is not your life. So they can do whatever they want. Let them do it. It's like that let them theory from Mel Robbins. Like, let them. Who cares? You live your life the way you want to live it. That's the
true.
only way to move past it.
That's true because life is so short. And at the end of the day, if you care about what other people think, which it's hard not to, okay, still working on that. But if you stop caring about what other people think about you, it's a beautiful thing. And the world is going to spin no matter what.
Speaking of my own opinions, here's a word from our sponsor. Does that make sense at all? I don't even know. Anyways, this episode is sponsored by Autonomy. Autonomy's mission is to build the healthiest generation of South Asians out there through life-changing body and health transformation. Nathan's been working with the South Asian community for over 7 years, and he's mastered the understanding of the South Asian body, culture, and lifestyle. Wherever you are in the world, you will have access to this South Asian coaching. I'm actually part of it right now. I've already seen so much progress within the last 2 months. I think the biggest thing for me is definitely the diet. I didn't know how many calories I was eating and how important that really is to be able to lose fat but also gain muscle. So if you're interested, make sure you click the link in the description below. Thanks again to Autonomy. This next question is from Emily. She is dating a Jewish man, but she is not considered Jewish by law. So her future kids and wedding won't be recognized unless she converts. She's struggling between love, religious expectations, and staying true to herself, and wants advice from another interfaith couple. Huh.
Interesting.
It's kind of interesting.
See, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we talk all the time about me being Christian, about you being Hindu, but there's so many different kinds of interfaith couples all around the world that struggle with this exact thing, you guys. That's, wow.
Listen, this is a conversation that's been very relevant in the news recently.
It has.
And I just have to say, never convert to something that you yourself don't truly believe in. If you feel it inside you, like you believe it, that this is true, this is what God is, this is what I want to pray to every single day, then yes, convert to that that belief of whatever you think is most powerful to you. But if you fully don't believe it, it's fake conversion. Like, it's not real at that point.
Well, yeah, you can do something for somebody else, but at the end of the day, if it's not something that you fully resonate with, then don't put that on yourself to try and be something that you're not or that you don't want to be. And this is the plot literally of the show Nobody Wants This. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I mean, it's sad, you know, like that people won't recognize your marriage if you're not the same religion. But to me, that is, which it's different in churches that people think differently. But me just speaking my opinion, I think it's a very outdated way to think. I think that's a very old traditional sense of marriage and belonging. You don't have to be the same religion to make it work. Why can't you be different religions and still share the same values and morals? And why isn't that enough?
My biggest thing with conversion is that it's not true conversion if you don't truly believe in yourself. That's the end of the story right here. Like, there's nothing else to it. So if you're just going to convert just to make other people happy, that sounds wrong. That's a lie. That's like, it's if they'll be happy, yes, whatever. But then is that like, you're going to know that this is a lie. And I don't know. I couldn't live with myself if I did that.
Then you're just living a lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because in the question you say that the future kids and wedding won't be recognized unless you convert. So it is a lot easier said than done to not convert because you don't want to, but it's like you have to ask yourself these big questions of, okay, if I want to be with this person, how can I make it work? Because this isn't something I want to do. If you don't want to convert, don't do it just because people are telling you that you have to. Just listen to yourself. Don't make anybody else don't let anybody else make you feel bad. That's all I have to say. Next question is from Rihanna. She and her ex have stayed close. They still talk and hang out daily and recently reconnected. But he is unsure how he feels about the relationship. She's wanting advice on how to ask him about starting over fresh without scaring him away. So they're in a situationship right now. She doesn't know how to initiate the conversation.
We've been in a situationship before.
Yeah.
And how did we handle this situation?
I think it got to a point because we let it just go on for so long that I got so uncomfortable with not knowing what the future would look like that I just straight up asked him, what is this? What is it? We're hanging out. We're not dating. We're doing things that couples do. We're going to do things together. Why are we not dating? And what is this? Tell me what this is because you're just confusing me.
Hallie was just putting it down. Like, she's like, you better tell me now or it's over.
Because I got so tired of you playing little games, which to be fair, you were in a very difficult situation, but it wasn't fair to either one of us if we didn't decide what we were moving forward. And that, are we just wasting each other's time? Are we making this more painful that we're never going to get back together? How do we do this? Yeah. What is going on? Let's fix it.
I don't know. My advice to this is just asking, communication. It's always our solution to everything. Just be upfront, be like, hey, we've been talking again. What is this? Because I'm confused. And if I'm confused, then you're probably confused. So let's figure it out together.
Yeah. It's like when you just recently had a little argument or disagreement and if you're in the car and you're driving and you're just sitting looking at the road together when you know that there's something that you need to talk about, but you're putting off talking about it because it's uncomfortable. That's what that's giving to me. Mm-hmm. Just talk about it. I think we should put that on a t-shirt. Just talk about it.
Okay. Marriage is hard and just talk about it. Okay.
Just talk about it. Just like, honestly, what is the worst that can happen? You find out the truth one way or the other. Just send it. Full send. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. I feel like I've had to teach myself that though, because there are definitely so many times that I avoid conflict when I can because I hate starting conflict. But in certain situations, you just got to rip the Band-Aid off. You just have to do it. There's really nothing else I can say towards that, but you got this. We believe in you. Do it. Be strong. Persevere. and ask the questions because relationships are just complicated.
Next question. Thank you for asking that question.
Thank you.
Next question. We have a question about why anti-Indian racism is becoming so normalized online. This is what was written. I feel like I'm seeing so much anti-Indian hate recently. A lot of it started with these travel influencers. They're going to the country of India and showing how chaotic and how unclean it is. It sucks because while we still have a lot of problems in India, there are so many beautiful parts of it. Also, another thing that people have been saying is that Indians steal everyone's jobs. They always are in these viral videos of like, which race would you not date? It would always be the answer would always be like Indians because they're unhygienic or whatever it is. And I don't think it's talked about enough. So this is the question that was written, and I agree. This is like a very big thing right now. I don't know what's going on in the world, but anti-Indian racism, like people are just being racist here and there, everywhere. There's just a lot more of it recently. I think not just Indians, but all kinds of people. Like there's a lot more racism out there. But I've been seeing this on my feed a lot more, like the comment section. What is wrong with our comment section?
I mean, our comment section, so many others out there. What blows my mind is, and I've seen a lot of these videos, whether it be on TikTok, so many people just, it's disgusting, really, what people say in the comments or on videos of people showing parts of India, or in our comment section, the amount of people that comment like, oh, she ruined her white bloodline. That's what kind of psychotic do you have to be to comment that? The fact that people out there actually believe that, I have no words. And it was on so many comments because our 10 years together post went viral, and so many, I see them every single day, right? And it's sickening to me. But I love watching a lot of videos of like Indian food, how to make Indian food, and inevitably up next in the feed comes like people trying Indian street food. And there are, the point of this question, there are so many people that go to India in the streets in these crowded cities, and they film people making street food, and it's like they just show it being like crazy and chaotic, and they film it in such a way that it makes it look bad like that. And it's like, why are you being a part of the problem, promoting something that people already believe because they've never been to India and they don't understand what it's actually like, and that it's a beautiful country. There are places, you want to talk about bad places? Think about horrible cities here in the United States. Think about crazy things. There are crazy things that happen all over the world, okay? It doesn't have to be just in India. Every single country has its problems. And if you're going to generalize that all of India is disgusting, then you need to get a reality check.
Yeah. I encourage you to visit India. It's really nice.
You should.
There's a lot of great places in India to visit.
You should really see for yourself that it's actually a beautiful place, and that so many lovely people live there, and that it's not dirty and unsanitary, and just get a life.
But I think you're right in terms of the only way to combat this is to talk about it. I don't think it gets talked about enough. So I've been trying to post about these things a lot more often, just because if you have a platform, you need to figure out how to use it properly. And so hopefully this video, this podcast helps a little bit. We'll make more reels, Instagram reels and stuff about it. And every time that it pops up, we try and put it out there saying hey, this isn't okay. This is what's happening in our comments. This is a comment that we received. This is the person that did it. Mm-hmm. They're not a good person. All right.
And we love, every time we've gone to India, which we're going for a third time, which I'm so excited about, we love to showcase parts of India that people don't see and make that widely known and show that it is such a beautiful place that we love going to, that is your home. It's the motherland. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And people need to stop hating on what they don't understand.
Yes, exactly. Last two questions. They're just some quick everyday questions that I wanted to share. Mackenzie asked, she's dating a vegetarian. What advice do you have in terms of introducing him to a heavy meat-eating family that's not so open-minded? And how do you help her mom cook some food that he can eat too? This is a good question for you, Hallie, because how did you handle this situation?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing is just like we've said so many times before, have the conversation, say, hey, this isn't something that he can eat. Is there any way that we can substitute this out for this? Like, there's so many dishes that you could eat. I mean, you can do, what is it called? Like impossible meat or something?
Well,
or like tofu.
Your parents did, when they made chili and stuff.
Yeah, but so
they would
you're
make
not,
it without meat or anything.
But if you're a vegetarian, there are some things that's what I'm saying though. Like for us specifically, we swapped out beef for turkey, and then now I don't.
Well, there's tofu. There's all kinds of things you could swap out for.
Yeah,
but there's so many dishes that you really don't need the meat.
You don't
for like American thing. So let's say you go to your parents' house and they're making cheeseburgers. Take out the burger part. Put the cheese, put some onions. Now it's a cheeseburger with just the cheese. That's what I used to eat, and I was happy with it.
That was what you used to get from McDonald's.
Exactly. I used to get the bun, the cheese, the onions, the pickles, and that was it. The ketchup, it was so good. Fantastic. There's lots of ways to work around it. It's just making sure your parents know like what he can and can't eat.
So there's that, and I think there's also, you mentioned that they're not super open-minded. I think it's also important that when they inevitably do hang out with each other, whether it be for holidays or just for regular dinner or whatever, it's important that they know not to just bring it up like, oh, well, we had to do this because you don't eat this, or like, don't make him. I'm just saying, like, I hope that there are people out there that don't make their child's partner feel bad about that, because like it's not like you control it, you know what I mean? Like, what if somebody said, well, like, that's stupid that you don't eat this?
Like sometimes the acknowledgement makes you feel like an outsider.
Yeah, like I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Thank you. You know my brain space very well. Yeah, but I think just have the conversation, right? Figure out alternatives to have. Maybe you can be a part of that and be like, hey, I know you want to do this, but can we substitute it for this? Or like, there have even been situations where I don't know if I've maybe like forgotten to tell people or like whatever, if we've gone over for dinner or lunch or something, and I'll call them before and let them know and be like, hey, he can't eat this. Is there something? If not, like, I'll bring something. Happy to do that. But I think it's just important to kind of have that conversation and also not bring it up too much, because then it does kind of make somebody feel like an outsider, right?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for that answer, Hallie.
All
right,
welcome.
Last question on the list. Hallie, would you like to ask it?
Yes, this last question comes from Nick, and it's about social fatigue. After nonstop travel and family obligations, he and his wife feel completely drained. He wants to know how we deal with social burnout and how to get back to feeling normal. I don't have a great answer for this right now. I think
I have an answer.
Okay, you go ahead. I have a lot of thoughts.
The easiest way to make this happen is set a good week of no seeing people. Not week, but like 2 days. Like what we do when we got back from New York, we talked to so many people. We did so many things. It was a very busy week for us, and we literally sat home and did nothing for 2 days. And that helped us just reset a little bit, understand what we needed to do, what we didn't need to do, how to like organize our life for a second. And the other thing is, don't rot on the phone for a long time. I think that's something that's always helped me understand, like, don't get stuck on the phone, because you will,
that damn phone.
You'll realize that if you just take a day for yourself where you're not on your phone too much, and you organize your life for a whole day, your whole month is set for you. But yeah, make sure you don't have that phone with you, because it does get 1 hour on a phone just like ruins a lot of time.
I think, to your point, I said I didn't have a good answer for this because I'm really good at making plans with people, and sometimes I don't consider that, maybe that's a lot. But I think it is really important just to take some time away, fully, like cancel plans if you have to, stay in a little bit, slow down, cut back on your crazy schedule, and just be in the present. Don't always be looking forward to what's next. I know that we sometimes struggle with that because we do have a lot of fun things that come up during the weeks, and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this. And we, usually our weekends are pretty busy and we schedule lots of things, and that's our only break from work, even though we work all the time. But Yes, definitely try and not see anybody. Put yourself in your own little bubble and just do things that make you guys happy. Go on a date day, spend all your time together, and remove yourself from seeing people, because it's really good to see people. You need to see people a lot, but it can be draining when you do it every single day, especially being on a trip with people and having family obligations and being on and being present. It's like being at a corporate event nonstop and you're just having to like be on and around people all the time. It's not super fun.
It's a good analogy.
Yes.
All right. This was awesome. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. If you want to be on the next episode of Questions of the Week, go to www.halfpastshy.com where you submit your own questions and stories. Guess what? I'm going to be running the New York City Marathon next year. I have a link down below that you can donate to. We would appreciate it so much. It's for Team for Kids. They organize all kinds of things around the United States nationally for kids that need help, whether it be to, have different events for them or even fundraisers or drives, food drives, whatever it is. They do so much good stuff for the communities. And if you've made it this far into the episode, comment dirty chai below.
Ooh.
Okay? Do that.
Ooh.
Do that for us, and we'll be very happy to see that comment because that means you made it all the way to the end.
Yeah.
That's insane. Half Past Crew, we love you. We thank you so much for your support. And as always, we'll see you next Monday at Half Past Chai.
Also, if you submit a question, there is an anonymous button. So know that like your name doesn't have to be mentioned. I just want to make that very clear to everybody. These people, I guess, were okay with having their name shared. So just know that if you submit a question, you can have an anonymous button and we won't know who you are. So just keep that in mind, everybody. We love you.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you guys for submitting your questions. We love you.